So the purpose of my research is to create a body of work that focuses on nothingness, which appears as a product of expectation. I aim at creating a multimodal approach to painting that could be seen as a form of installation. I make use of many modes that are unconventional to the traditional modernist paradigm of painting. So instead of just making use of things such as oil paint and canvas or oil paint and board, I make use of a variety of modes ranging from food coloring, plaster, PVA, ceramics, clay, thread, tubing, wooden boxes and fragments thereof. This is one of the very first artworks I made in my first year of my master's study. Basically, this is just a continuation of where I left off at the end of my fourth year of study. I started incorporating the use of clear tubing, which speak to this emotional and physical connection and structure of a family. It was just a benchmark to where my art would eventually go. So it is extremely relevant in my body of work. My work is influenced by my mother. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and a large tumor was removed from her abdomen. And seeing the image of the tumor, which was removed during surgery, the surgeons took a picture of the tumor, it started triggering feelings and emotions within me. So I took that tumor, cancer, terminal illness, and realized it created a feeling like a presence of absence in me, because in that time my mother had been away for a few weeks to have an operation to have the tumor removed. In that time, being alone at home and always being attached to my mother, always having her around, knowing that my mother would always be there, it made me realize that she might not always be there, and it created this presence of absence, because I'd come home every day and I'd expect to find her car in the driveway. There were times I could still smell her perfume, smell her spices, see her clothes and things that reminded me of her, and it created this presence of absence within me, knowing that my mother is sick and that she might not come back okay. And as time went on, this presence of absence turned into a feeling of nothingness. So nothingness is a notion which refers to where something used to be, should be, or isn't anymore. It can also refer to a void or an emptiness. So this presence of absence manifested into a feeling of nothingness. And I took this and decided to make it visible in my art. So to create this visibility of nothingness as a product of expectation in my art. These are the cloth doilies that my mother used to make, and I've started utilizing them in my art, and eventually they end up looking totally different with regard to colors and all the layering that I have done with them by using them as stencils and imprinting them in plaster and clay. So this box is a deconstructed traditional box. What I did was I took the shape of the tumor that was removed from my mother and I cut it out, and what you see on the side is the shape of this tumor, and in that I created an artwork that allows the viewer to engage with it and actually physically look inside to see what's happening. Evident in the artwork is this invasive tumor that sort of spoils the painting in the background, and it speaks to this tumor that grows in your body, that evolves in the body, and it has a combination of blue and red thread inside the clear pipes, which speak to veins and medical IV drip. I always make sure that I'm working every single day, making art, working on my art every day. And one of the main artists who has influenced this work ethic within me is Pablo Picasso, because he constantly aimed at reinventing and recreating himself as an artist, and he had a work ethic that did not allow him to sleep unless something was perfect. Reading up about him and watching TV shows about him made me realize that if you're really passionate about something and you aim at making a career out of this, nothing should stop you from reaching that goal, especially if it is driven by passion. And just making sure that you stay consistent within your art to grow and recreate and reinvent yourself.